Starving children cannot wait. Starving children cannot wait. We're here today, standing outside the United Nations to make sure that every diplomat, every emissary, every head of state is confronted with this call from Gaza. Let the aid in! End the starvation! Stop this horrific genocidal war! UN member states, the time for silence and inaction is over! You must heed this call! You must sanction Israel! Lift the siege! Cut all ties! And take every possible action to end Israel's genocide of Palestine! Inside this building, while hundreds of thousands of Gazan children starve, the United Nations General Assembly has convened a conference to discuss the so-called two-state solution. This conference takes place over the bodies of tens of thousands of Palestinians who have already been killed in Israel's genocidal campaign. Lives lost under the cover of international complicity and self-serving diplomacy. For the past 22 months, we have watched Israel commit unmitigated atrocities. And right now, Israel's genocide has escalated to its most deadly stage. Millions of Palestinians stand at the brink of starvation. 85% of the population in Gaza has entered the fifth and final stage of malnutrition. Their gut linings begin to digest themselves, leaving people unable to process water or nutrients, even if they become available. We have witnessed video after video of men and women collapsing from hunger, children hollowed into skeletons of themselves, entire neighborhoods turned to rubble, body parts blown off the body. Netanyahu has made clear that the Israeli plan is to allow just enough aid to enter so that the international community will allow him to continue Israel's genocide while Palestinians continue to starve, but more quietly. The member states inside here know that. Yet instead of taking meaningful action to prevent the imminent death of millions, under the leadership of France and Saudi Arabia, the participants of this conference offer us the same dead horse they've been beating for the last several decades. Not a two-state solution, but rather a political fiction, peddled to distract us from the root causes of the starvation of Gaza's people: imperialism and Zionism. It should be clear that there is no solution without justice, that there is no justice without liberation, and there is no liberation that includes continued international support and recognition of the Zionist entity who starves women and children to death and whose existence is predicated on Palestinian extermination and regional dominance. Now is the time for actions, not words. Gaza needs food, not empty promises to rein Israel in by recognizing the state of a people facing genocide. If these UN member states are truly concerned about peace, they must immediately join the Hague Group and commit to embargoing and sanctioning Israel. We will no longer accept our people's future and dignity being used for political gain, while pretending to support the Palestinian cause for political gain. Arab states like Egypt, Jordan, and Saudi Arabia have materially supported the Zionist entity's extermination of Palestinians. Not only are these countries complicit, but they are collaborators in genocide. Egypt has refused to take action to open the Rafah crossing, allowing thousands of urgently needed aid trucks to sit on the border while Palestinians starve just miles away. Cracking down on organizing efforts in support of Gaza, including most recently the global march to Gaza, and previously charging Palestinians thousands of dollars for their attempts to seek safety. In its most recent act of political theater, rather than opening the crossing, Egypt has airdropped a few scraps of aid. Jordan, too, has went out of its way to defend Israel during this genocide, shooting down missile bound for Israel at the expense of its own citizens and repressing any criticism of its ongoing normalization with the Zionist entity. These states have abandoned the Palestinian cause and cemented themselves as lackeys for the imperialists and colonialists of this world. And in doing so, they have abandoned their own people too. The people of the world have been clear where they stand. For 22 months, the masses in capitals all over the world have erupted in support of Gaza. UN member states, nations of the world, now is your last chance. You either unite with the wills of your people and stand against genocide by sanctioning and cutting all ties with Israel, or you stand against the wishes of the masses and you face the consequences.